Hey, welcome back to another episode of Fishing is My Summer Job. As you can see here, I got a pike on. We did a little variety of fishing. This episode is just kind of a hodgepodge of things from over Memorial Day weekend. There's my drift boat. I did get a nice drift in. The rest of the fishing I did on shore. Here, I'm fishing this log. I found this floating in this one area I fish. Obviously, I start working the close side of the log. Pick up a rock bass here in a second. Then I worked the far side of the log. It was kind of a good area until some kayakers came through. I actually got harassed by this woman on a kayak. She actually canoed directly right. I was fishing on the other side of the tree at the time. She came up and canoed between me and the shore right over the hole I was at. I gave them the whole river to canoe behind me. And she just cut right in there. How rude is that? It's kind of ridiculous. I got video of it. If they would have had MC numbers on the boat, I probably would have sent it to DNR and let them write her a ticket or something. You know, it's there's a lot of water on these rivers that people can respect everyone and make sure we're not harassing fishermen. She actually was laughing that her friend would run into fishermen with her kayak and then act like she didn't know how to canoe and then was laughing about it. So, you know, kind of ridiculous and rude. Hopefully none of you get to experience that. It's just one of those things on public water that sometimes you have to deal with. This part of the trip here, this spot, I saw some flashings up in this part of the river when I was wading by. I actually cast it upstream and worked it back. Ended up picking up a little largemouth, which on this part of the river I don't get very many largemouth. They're almost, it's like 99% smallmouth and some pike in there, although on my float it was almost all pike. Yeah, the day that I got this video, I had about an hour and a half or so to fish, so I threw on the GoPro. I got a new harness, which I really like. I think the video is a lot more stable. And I just hit a quick hit spot that's usually good for small fish, and that's really what I got. I didn't catch anything very big on this part of the video. Everything was rock bass and smallmouth. Probably caught 40 or 50 of them. You know, it doesn't always work out, and then I actually see that my lens protector on my GoPro is cracked. I don't know how that happened, but so I got some funny things going on in the video, so I have to get that worked out. Again, the water is super low, so I'm finding spots where it riffles down into maybe knee-deep water at most. And I'm working on one of those Hada crawfish, you know, in and around rocks, and if you watch carefully, you can see it as it sweeps in, and it's right next to the rocks where I get hits. And there's, like I say, rock bass, and there's smallmouth, and then I did get one largemouth on this part of the video also. But like I say, it was a lot of fun. There was no one up in there fishing, a few kayakers, and like I say, there was the one that harassed me, but the rest of them were great. You know, most people on the river, or most of our rivers here in the state of Michigan, you know, they're curious what we're catching, especially if you're fishing with a fly rod, and they just want to, you know, they'll canoe near you, but they'll usually stay away from the area that you're throwing your flies at. What's kind of funny is this area that I'm fishing right here. When I started fishing this part of the river a lot with my girls, probably 10 or 12 years ago, you can see where there's a knocked over tree, and there was a big hole in there. It was probably 5 feet deep. I used to catch a lot of really big bass there all summer long. Over the years, the sediments kind of filled in, gravel's knocked down the river and filled in the hole. Now it's maybe 1.5 feet deep, and yeah, there's still a couple big rocks in there, so that holds some rock bass and smallmouth. And on the other side of the river is the same way. I was looking at it. It's a hole that I catch a few big ones out of, and it's all filled in. You know, that's just the way it goes with the river. So now what I have to do is start searching. There's got to be a spot somewhere in the next maybe mile, half mile of river where there's been a blowdown that the root clump came up and opened up a deep spot. Off this root, like I say, usually it's deep, and I waded it after I got snagged once, and It's about a third as deep as it used to be. But like I say, still holding some fish. I saw some suckers in there, and usually this time of year there'll be some bass swimming right behind those suckers, because I think suckers spawn about now. A lot of fun. Now the rest of the video is just some shots. I went out one day with my old reel. It's my original fly reel I got like 32 years ago. I bought that thing. An old Martin. I put it on one of the rods that I have. I went out and caught some fish on poppers. Had a fun time. I got one nice one, a few smaller ones. And then I did a float the Saturday, or maybe it was the Sunday, Memorial Day weekend. I threw a lot. I only really got them to go on spinners. Got some nice pike, got a couple bass. At the end of the trip, I threw some mice, lost a nice smallmouth on mice, so I'll go back and do that again. And like I say, it was just a good, relaxing trip. School's done on June 4th, and then after that, I'll have one video a week at least, and I'm going to fish every day. If you follow me on Instagram, it's the same as the title here, Fishing is My Summer Job. And like I say, I have a picture from whatever I catch or whatever I'm doing that day. You know, usually I'm catching fish. My goal has been to get out walleye fishing. I'm actually going to go tonight and give it a shot. So hopefully I can find them so that I'll take the camera out next time. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. And you get out, fish yourself. And remember, fishing is my summer job.